Hey everybody, Ben Nelson, the Everyday Real Estate Investor here. Hope you're having a fantastic day and you're out there doing the thing and making connections and chasing your goals and going after the things that you want in life and not making excuses and just taking those steps day by day to make things happen. So thanks for tuning in to another episode of the podcast. This podcast is going to be a little bit ironic if you listened to last week's episode, which was about uh, staying the course when you are hitting difficult times because success is just right around the corner. So and I still fully believe in that 100%. I believe that a lot of people quit when they're about ready to see success and they put all that effort in, and they give up just when they're about ready to turn the corner and see that success. However, I also believe that you can only put effort into so many things and do those things to the best of your ability. So, with that said, um, and I think I mentioned in that podcast as well something about strategic quitting. Now, um, where I'm going with this, you might already sense where I'm going with this, but um, I'm going to be making some changes with the podcast here, and I appreciate everybody who's listened and who's supported my podcast to this point. But I'm going to be making a pivot. So, um, and that's what I'm calling it because I'm not hanging it up. I'm not going to not do podcasting. I am going to continue to do that, but I'm kind of hitting the pause button because I've got a lot going on and a lot of good things. And you hit a point where it's like, where are you going to focus your efforts? Where are you going to um, spend your time and spend your energy? And I enjoy sharing from my knowledge, and I enjoy putting those things out there. So I'm not going to stop doing that. But it's going to, I think, look a little different moving forward. And so for some time here, undetermined at this point, I will not be as consistent in my podcast. I'm going to continue to put some things out. Um, but I'm just trying to figure this out, how this looks moving forward, and I've gone back and forth on this a whole bunch. I'm committed to sharing and to putting those things out there and sharing success stories of people that have done that, and that whole everyday being an everyday real estate investor and overcoming those things and that are maybe hurdles for people that are trying to get into the game and all of those things. Um, so I definitely have a heart to continue to do that. But um, life has seasons, and right now I've got a lot of things going on in my real estate brokerage business that are great things. I'm building a team. I've got new team members coming on. I've got some projects going on. I've got just lots of family stuff. It's if you've listened to this for the last year, it's been kind of a challenging year, and so yeah, all those things you could look at those excuses if you want, but again, my thing is you got to figure out where you're going to spend your time and put your effort forward. And right now, the podcast, I just have to pull back from it a little bit, and I can't put as much effort into it. And the other thing is that, and so I don't know what that looks like moving forward. I don't know. I want to continue to share and put things out there and share stories, all of those things. So it could be a different format. It could be something less often. It could be maybe even like a shorter format. I'm still working out how that looks, and I figured my best way to do that would just be to step back a little bit, regroup it, rather than continuing to just kind of push forward and put content out every week. That's not really as thought through, and just kind of taking that time and stepping back and figuring out and pivoting and regrouping. And gosh, sometimes in life, I wish I could just kind of hit the pause button on life for a week or two, figure out a whole bunch of stuff, hit the unpause button, and be ready to go. But it doesn't work that way. But for this, I can. So that's what I'm going to do, and uh, I'm going to figure out where that goes from here, and I'll keep you guys posted. And again, I'm going to continue to put things out, but it's going to look a little bit different. And it could be, again, it could be a change in format. It might be a rebrand. It might be kind of combining this with what I'm doing with some of my other marketing on the brokerage side, and just kind of having an offshoot of that versus a separate brand. So I'm working out those nuances, and so I just, again, stepping back to take some time to do that and really think things through. Now, the other thing is that um, it's interesting. Again, I started this. I don't remember if this was my first episode or not, but it was. I think it was, where it's like, look, you just got to. Sometimes you just got to just go, and stop overthinking things, and just take that step forward. Which, again, I still fully believe in that. I think you can overplan and overthink, and to the point where you're never going to step forward and do something. Um, but um, I don't feel like I've done, and this kind of goes back to the time aspect too, right? You can only do so many things to the best of your ability. Um, Quality of content, quality of editing, quality of everything that's been putting out there, the video quality, all of those things. A lot of that wasn't planned, because I just kind of jumped into this and did it, and kind of adjust as I go, and I can be better. It can be better, and so that's another piece of this, is just making sure that I'm taking the time to make some of those adjustments, making sure that the content is high quality, the video and audio, and all of the little nuances that should be high quality with a podcast. Making sure those things are there. So, again, you can only do things to so many things to the best of your ability, because there's only so much time. And again, with growing team, with new agents, with people coming on board, I owe them that attention, and that comes first. They're relying on me to coach them and to teach them and to bring them opportunities and all the things that they need to be successful in their business. And so I can't put this ahead of the people that are relying on me for that coaching one-on-one. So, um, you got to pick those things you're going to focus on. You can do a lot more by focusing on a handful of things, and than having split attention. And we've talked about this with strategy and real estate, right? That you can have, there's so many ways you can make money in real estate, um, but you have to pick where you're going to do it, or you're not going to do anything, right? There's so many ways, so many strategies, so many markets and neighborhoods, and just all the different nuances. If you're not focused on where you're going to spend that time and effort, you're not going to find. You may hit a one off, but it's going to be random. It's not going to be systematic, and you're not going to be able to predict that, and because it's just happening. It's not actually something that you've put together strategically. So, and you don't really know what to look at if you're that spread out, right? Because nothing, if you don't know, if you say, what are you looking for? What kind of deal? Well, anything that makes money. You really don't know what you're looking for, and so just knowing, being focused, having that focused attention on what it is that you're after, what your goals are, what your strategy is, where you're looking, what are your numbers and criteria, all that stuff, right? Same kind of thing here, where it's like, you know, I could keep doing this, and I could keep doing it the way that I'm doing it without any pivot, and um, continue to invest that time and effort, take that away from something else that I'm trying to do, and not be able to invest that time there, and continue to put this out in a way that's not to the level that I would really like to see it. So, um, again, gone back and forth on this, but really just kind of came to the point where it's like, I just really need to take this time and pull back and regroup and think through how I want this to look moving forward. So, um, that's really it for today's episode, guys. I appreciate you understanding. Um, I encourage you to take a look at something at your life, and maybe there's something in your life that you just need to take a pause on, take a step back from, focus elsewhere. Um, get wherever you need to with that, and then maybe come back to it at a later time. And it doesn't mean you're quitting. Uh, it doesn't make a lot of sense to just push things forward just for the sake of pushing them forward, because you don't quit. And again, I'm not quitting, I'm pausing, but sometimes quitting does make sense. And I always say, I held on to a job that I had for so long because I was just holding on to it as like I knew it was familiar and it was good and I was doing well and all that. But um, I say sometimes you have to let go of what is good for what is better. Just because you're leaving something or you're stepping back from something, that just because that thing is good doesn't mean that you should just stay with it, right? Because what your trade off for that could be is that you're not getting something better, right? And so that's kind of what I'm doing here, right? Is this is good, this is great, I love doing this, um, but I've got to step back for something that at the moment in this season is better, and then I can come back and invest more time and energy and be better in what I'm doing on this podcast here. So this is not a goodbye. This is a pause. I'll continue to put out content. It's going to be a little bit sporadic for the next couple months at least, as I'm working through how this looks moving forward. And then I will be back with, at a certain point, saying, hey, this is how it's going to look moving forward. So just know it's going to be inconsistent here for a little bit, but know that I'm also going to be back, and I'm going to have a new format or a new look or a new brand or whatever that looks like. We're going to continue to push each other. We're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to make sure that you're inspired and getting the things that you need to be able to move into the realm of investing if you're just starting out, or step up your game and move to the next level. So thanks again for listening, guys. I appreciate it. Again, this is not goodbye. This is until next time. I just don't know exactly when that next time will be, but I am excited to be making this decision and let everybody know what's going on, so that you're aware that, hey, it's going to be a little bit less often here, but here's why: because I've got some other things going on in life and in business that I've got to focus my attention on. So thanks again. I appreciate everybody's support. Hey, continue to reach out and connect. We'll love to still, even, I still have my social media channels, things like that. Message me, whatever, and connect. I would still love to do that and hear your stories and hear what you're doing out there to overcome obstacles, to work through this market, to achieve your goals, all of those things that we're pushing for. So thanks again. Until next time, go out there and keep pushing, keep figuring out the things that you need to be focusing your time on, spending your time and effort on, maybe setting aside something for a season to be able to focus more on those things and find success there, and then bringing it back in a different way later, if that makes sense. So I encourage you to think through that. Maybe look at what's going on in your life. If there's something that makes sense, to put the pause button on. But wish you the most success that you can. That wish you the best in achieving your goals, and we will definitely be back, and we'll be in touch. Don't hesitate to reach out, and appreciate you guys. Till next time.